Welcome to Build on Wisdom, Episode 1, Proverbs 1, Wisdom Before Wealth. Our mission is simple: to help people build businesses, build leaders, and build legacies through timeless wisdom that honors God, serves people, and stands the test of time. If you're looking for a shortcut to wealth, this lesson isn't for you. If you're looking to become the kind of person who can faithfully build something that lasts for generations, then you've come to the right place. Most people believe businesses fail because they run out of money. Others believe they fail because of competition. Some blame the economy. King Solomon points us somewhere much deeper. Businesses usually fail because leaders repeatedly make poor decisions. Every company is nothing more than thousands of decisions made over time. Who you hire, who you trust. Every one of those decisions shapes the future of your business. Over time, those decisions become habits. Habits become culture. Culture becomes reputation, and reputation becomes legacy. That is why Proverbs chapter 1 begins with wisdom instead of wealth. Solomon understood something that many entrepreneurs discover too late. Money does not solve wisdom problems. Money magnifies them. If your business lacks discipline, more revenue usually creates more confusion. If your leadership lacks integrity, more influence creates greater temptation. God often prepares the person before expanding the assignment. He strengthens the foundation before adding another floor to the building. Imagine standing in front of two construction sites. One project seems to be moving quickly. Walls are going up. The second project appears slow. Workers spend weeks digging, measuring, pouring concrete, checking every detail. To someone driving by, the second project might look like it is falling behind, but then the storm comes. One building stands, the other begins to crack. Why? Because success is rarely determined by what people see. It is determined by what they never notice. The foundation. Businesses work exactly the same way. Customers admire revenue. Investors admire growth. Wisdom asks a different question. What is holding all of this together? The taller the building, the deeper the foundation must be. The larger the business, the greater the need for wisdom. The business principle of Proverbs chapter 1 is this: a business grows sustainably only when every important decision is governed by wisdom, disciplined learning, sound counsel, and uncompromising integrity rather than greed or impulse. Wisdom is not information. Information tells you what is possible. Wisdom helps you discern what is right. Intelligence can build a profitable company. Wisdom builds a company that people trust. Knowledge can help you make money. Wisdom helps you keep your integrity while making it. Every major business failure begins long before bankruptcy. It begins with one poor decision, then another. Ignoring good counsel. Hiring someone because they are talented but overlooking their character. Choosing speed over diligence. Choosing profit over principle. Every compromise leaves a mark. Eventually, those compromises shape the culture of the company, and culture always produces consequences. That is why wise leaders never ask only, what will this decision earn today? They also ask, what kind of company will this decision create 5 years from now? Those are two very different questions, and they lead to two very different futures. What does wisdom actually look like inside a business? Wisdom is making the right decision when several good options exist. It is choosing what is right instead of what is easy. It is seeing consequences before they arrive. Solomon teaches that wisdom protects us long before problems appear. Most business owners spend their time solving problems. Wise business owners spend their time building systems that prevent those problems from happening in the first place. That is one of the greatest differences between managing a business and leading one. Managers react. Leaders prepare. Managers fight fires. Leaders build fire prevention systems. Managers ask, how do we fix this? Wise leaders ask, why did this happen, and what system will prevent it from happening again? That single question can transform an entire company. Every loss becomes a classroom when wisdom is leading. Every mistake becomes tuition if you learn from it. But if you refuse to learn, you pay tuition without receiving the education. That is why Proverbs repeatedly encourages us to receive correction. Correction is not punishment, correction is protection. Think about the companies that have lasted for generations. They adapted, they documented, they built systems instead of depending on personalities. That is exactly what Proverbs chapter 1 teaches. Wisdom must become a system, not an occasional emotion, a system. Without an operating system, businesses built on guessing rarely survive. So let us build the first operating system Solomon would establish. First, every major decision should require facts before feelings. Second, document everything that matters. Strong businesses write things down. They create procedures, checklists, standards, because systems create consistency. Third, seek wise counsel. The strongest leaders are not the ones who know everything, they are the ones humble enough to learn. Fourth, protect your reputation. Reputation is earned slowly, but lost quickly. Advertising can attract customers, only character keeps them. Trust becomes one of the most valuable assets a business will ever own. Finally, remember that every system should reflect your values. If your values and your systems disagree, your systems will eventually win. Values must be translated into daily habits, practiced in the workplace. One decision, one day, one system at a time. That is the power of wisdom. It quietly compounds. Imagine you own a growing construction company. Business is booming. One of your project managers tells you he has found a faster way to finish jobs. It saves time and money. Your profit increases. But the shortcut ignores part of the safety procedure. What do? The foolish leader sees higher profit. The wise leader sees hidden risk. He sees the employee who could be injured. He sees the lawsuit. He sees the damaged reputation. He sees tomorrow, not just today. Wisdom sees beyond immediate reward. Where in your own business are you accepting unnecessary risk? Wisdom finds it before crisis does. Many people believe wisdom cannot be measured. That isn't true. Wise businesses measure what matters. Look at your retention. Are you preparing for difficult seasons? Are your systems becoming more organized? These measurements reveal whether wisdom is becoming part of your organization. Ask yourself these executive questions. What decision requires wisdom today? Am I pursuing long-term value or short-term gain? Have I asked someone wiser than me for counsel? Am I leading from discipline or emotion? What can become a system instead of depending entirely on me? This week's Build on Wisdom challenge is simple. Write your company's 5 core values. Document 1 standard operating procedure. List your 3 greatest business risks. Schedule 1 conversation with a trusted advisor. Complete those 5 actions before watching episode 2. Wisdom grows through practice, not merely through knowledge. Every business becomes a reflection of its leader. If the leader is humble, the organization becomes teachable. If the leader values integrity, the company earns trust. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in technology or marketing. It is in your own judgment, because every future decision flows from the person you are becoming. Solomon reminds us that wisdom starts with humility before God. That humility shapes our decisions. Those decisions shape our habits, and our character eventually shapes our legacy. We are building companies that honor God by serving people with excellence, integrity, and faithful stewardship. Thank you for joining us for episode 1 of the Solomon Business Operating System. This is Build on Wisdom, building businesses, building leaders, building legacies. Join us for episode 2, where we discover the competitive advantage of discernment. Visit buildonwisdom.com to learn more.